My name's Ricky Klinger. I'm a grateful believer in Jesus Christ who struggles with anger, road rage. The list just keeps going and going. I just want to thank you for the ones that are here with us tonight. It's good to see some new faces, and it's a pretty good crowd. I'm happy. I want to thank you if you're watching on Facebook. Thanks for being with us, and please hit your share button, and just to let people know that we're here week after week, guys. We're not going anywhere, so just remember to hit the share button and come join us, see what we're all about. We're going to start with the 8 principles. My tech guy's back there playing on the phone again. Number 1, I realize I'm not God. I admit that I am powerless to control my tendencies to do the wrong things, and that my life is unmanageable.
Happy are those who know that they are spiritually poor. Matthew 5:3.
Number 2, earnestly believe that God exists, that I matter to Him, and that He has the power to help me recover.
Happy are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Matthew 5:4.
Number 3, consciously choose to commit all my life and will to Christ's care and control.
Happy are the meek. Matthew 5:5.
Number 4, openly examine and confess my faults to myself, to God, and to someone I trust.
Happy are the pure in heart. Matthew 5:8.
Number 5, voluntarily submit to any and all changes God wants to make in my life and humbly ask Him to remove my character defects.
Happy are those whose greatest desire is to do what God requires. Matthew 5:6.
Number 6, evaluate all my relationships, offer forgiveness to those who have hurt me, and make amends for the harm that I have done to others when possible, except when to do so would harm them or others.
Happy are the merciful. Matthew 5:7. Happy are the peacemakers. Matthew 5:9.
Number 7, reserve a daily time with God for self-examinations, Bible reading, and prayer in order to know God and His will for my life and to gain the power to follow His will. Oh, that's mine, guys. Yield myself to God to be used to bring this good news to others, both by my example and my words.
Happy are those who are persecuted because they do what God requires. Matthew 5:10.
Good job, guys. You guys sounded good. All right, guys. Tonight our lesson is on sponsors. This is very important, guys. We can't do this on our own. We have to have somebody standing there and keep us accountable for what the mistakes, and we all struggle. I'm not saying you guys all make mistakes or whatever, but we all struggle. We get tempted, and that's what the sponsor and accountability partner is for. So, Principle 4, openly examine and confess my faults to myself, to God, and to someone I trust. Happy are the pure in heart, Matthew 5:8. Step 4, we make a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Let us examine our ways and test them, and let us return to the Lord. Lamentations 3:40. All right, guys. It said, why do I need a sponsor or an accountability partner? There are 3 reasons why you need a sponsor or an accountability partner. Having a sponsor or an accountability partner is biblical. Ecclesiastes 4:9-12 tells us, 2 are better than 1, because together you can work more efficiently. If one of them falls down, the other can help him up. But if someone is alone, there is no one to help him. 2 people can resist an attack that would defeat one person alone. Proverbs 27:17 tells us, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. The phrase one another is used in the New Testament over 50 times. Again, guys, we can't do this alone. I know I can't. My wife, she packs me a lot. Every time my road rage comes, I really don't like driving with her because I can't get away with throwing my cuss words out there. And she's like, honey, pray. Go ahead, pray. It's like, pretty soon she's going to be saying, what would Tom do, Ricky? Having a sponsor or an accountability partner is a key part of your recovery program. Do you know that your recovery program has 4 key elements to success? If your program includes each of these areas, you are well on your way to the solution to wholeness. The first key is maintaining your honest view of reality as you work each step. I have yet to see this program fail to someone who could be completely honest with himself or herself. I have, however, seen some give up on their recoveries because they could not step out of their denial into God's truth. Having someone help to keep you honest is a real plus and success working the steps. Guys, that's very true. Most of our drug use and most of our addictions are because we're not happy. And a lot of times, more times than not, it's you're not happy with yourself. There's something inside of you that's missing, and that's why we go to drugs. We want to blame it on someone else. Let's say we blame your wife, or you blame your kid, or your mom, your dad, whatever, but nobody can fix it but us. We're the only ones that can make this happen. Your wife can't make you get sober. Your dad can't make you get sober. So I know it's hard and it's harsh, but it's the truth. We're the only ones that can make it happen. So the second key element is making your attendance at your recovery group meetings a priority in your schedule. It's a big one, guys. We have to be there. We have to come week after week. We can't come one week and I'll go next month. It's not going to work. It just ain't going to work. I strongly suggest not only coming to your meetings, come to church, come to Bible studies. Whatever you can do to get into the Word, guys, is very important. This doesn't include taking the summer off and not going to meetings because it's raining outside. Don't get me wrong, it's great to take a vacation, but after the 2 weeks are up, come back to your meetings. Remember, your hurts, hang-ups, and haven'ts don't take vacations. You need to make Friday nights here at Celebrate Recovery and other meeting nights that you are attending a priority. A sponsor or an accountability partner can encourage you to attend your meeting. And again, guys, just to throw this out there, there's plenty of us here that can be accountability partners. I can be a sponsor. We're all here for each other, guys. You're not alone. We're here. We've done it. We've been through it. I won't do it tonight, but some night we'll get back to my way of living. Used to be way of living anyway. I'll put it out there again. But the third element is maintaining your spiritual program with Jesus Christ. This one's very important, guys. Through prayer, meditation, and study of His Word. We are going to focus more on this in Principle 7. But you don't have to wait until you get there to develop your relationship with Christ. Your sponsor can pray for you and will help to keep you centered on God's Word. That's very important, guys. We can't do this without God. He's got to be in the center of it. The last key element to successful program is getting involved in service. Once you have completed Principle 8, you will be able to serve as a sponsor. Until that time, however, there are plenty of other services opportunities to get you started. And again, guys, I go through this all the time. Get involved. I'm not telling you that you have to get up here and look silly like I do sometimes. But, God has a way of making you humble. He has a way to put you out of your comfort zone to do what he wants you to do. I say it all the time, God only moves when we move. We have to take that step in order for God's blessings to come to us, guys. It's hard sometimes. It's embarrassing. I tell my wife I make myself look like a fool a lot. You were fine, honey. I know but anyway, it's hard sometimes to stand up here week after week and think of different ways to try to get people to understand that there's a better life. There's a better way of living, guys. It don't have to be through addiction or hurts, whatever it may be. It's not all about addictions. Maybe you was hurt or wronged by somebody. There's ways about it with Jesus Christ. It's just a whole lot better. Trust me. Having a sponsor and or an accountability partner is the best guard against relapse. By providing feedback to keep you on track, a sponsor and or an accountability partner can see your old dysfunctional, self-defeating patterns begin to surface and point them out to you quickly. He or she can confront you with truth and love without placing shame or guilt. Ecclesiastes 7:5 tells us that it is better to be criticized by a wise man than to be praised by a fool. The trouble with most of us is that we would rather be ruined by praise than saved by criticism. And guys, it is hard. It's very hard to hear when you do wrong. But if you don't hear that you're doing wrong, how do you even know that you're doing wrong? If somebody don't say, hey, that's not right, we should probably pray or maybe stop and think about that, before we go on. If we're not told that, sometimes we don't even know that we're doing wrong. It's like, well, preacher preached on this last week. I don't think I'm doing too bad, and sometimes he slips up, maybe he might have said something that he didn't really mean to say and didn't catch it. It's really important, guys, that we keep each other held accountable. So, what are the questions of a sponsor? Through good advice lies deep within a counselor's heart. The wise man will draw it out. Proverbs 20:5. When you are selecting a sponsor, look for the following qualities. Does his walk match his talk? Is he living the 8 principles? And that's very important, guys. Nobody's perfect. We know everybody slips. We know everybody has problems, but it's very important that whoever you choose, really watch him. Watch how he's living. Watch if he's really somebody that you want to be criticizing you. I guess you should say. So a sponsor shouldn't be saying, hey man, you shouldn't do that. And then when you guys leave from your coffee date or whatever it is, your sponsor goes right out and does exactly what he told you not to do. We can't be doing that. So it's very important that we watch and we really know who we're picking for our partner, guys. Does she have a growing relationship with Jesus Christ? Do you see the character of Christ developing in her? Does he express the desire to help others on the road to recovery? There is a difference between helping others and trying to fix others. We all need to be careful to guard the relationship from beginning unhealthy and codependent? Does she show compassion, care, and hope, but not pity? You don't need someone to feel sorry for you, but you need someone to be sensitive to your pain. As Pastor Rick Warren says, people don't care about how much you know until they know about how much you care. It's very important, guys. We got to be careful with our words sometimes. Like I said, my poor wife catches a lot of my road rage, and they shouldn't even be driving, and a lot of times I'm throwing things at her. She's like, wait, I didn't do this, so we got to be careful, guys, on how we approach people and what we say to people. He is a good listener. Am I a good listener, hon? Do you sense that he honestly cares about what you have to say? And again, guys, we can't fix you. This is in the steps that when we go to small groups, we read our 5 steps, our 5 rules. This is very important. We really need to listen and just let people talk sometimes. We can't fix you. We know the one that can. All we can do is just be there for you, let you say what you need to say, get it off your chest. And we just got to, we're going to support you. Is she strong enough to confront your denial and procrastination? Does she care enough about you and your recovery to challenge you? And again, guys, that gets back, we really need to push people, and I try to do this, but I still can't seem to get through. We need to get you guys involved somehow. We need to, you guys shouldn't be just sitting there listening to me week after week. Somebody else should come up here and do this once, So I don't see no hands. But again, I'm just going to start picking random people sometime. But, we really need to get involved, guys, and it helps. It really does. If we're just sitting there listening to me, and again, like I said, I'm not perfect. I slip a lot, So, I'm not telling you, I tried to do my best for my talk to match my walk. But again, I slip. So, we really need to be careful with that. Now I lost my spot. Does he offer suggestions? Sometimes we need help to seeing options or alternatives that we are unable to find on our own. A good sponsor can take an object view and offer suggestions. He should not give orders. And that's a fact. We shouldn't try to tell people what to do. We should say, hey, try it like this. This is what I did. Maybe you can try this, or, we just can't say it can't be done that way. What's right or wrong? We don't know. So we throw it out and say, hey, this is how I did this. This is how I got through this. And so, can she share her own current struggles with others? Is she willing to open up and be vulnerable and transparent? I don't know about you, but I don't want a sponsor who says that he has worked the principles. I want a sponsor who is living and working the principles every day. Guys, again, it wouldn't be very right of me to stand up here and ask you guys to give testimonies if I wouldn't get up there and give my testimony. You see what I'm saying? We really have to, before we throw things out there, you got to make sure you want to do yours before you can, you can do that. So, what is the role of a sponsor? And there's 6 of them, guys. It says, she can be there to discuss issues in detail that are too personal or would take too much time in a meeting. This is especially true when with the principal for. You don't share your complete inventory in a group setting. I am the lowest form of life on the earth, is a phrase often repeated by those doing their inventory. Others, Denny, rationalization and blame. Okay, I admit I did such and such, but it's not as if I killed anybody. Sure, I did A, B, and C, but my sponsor did D through Z. Compared to my spouse, I'm a saint. Is that true? All right, I admit it, but I never would have done it if my boss wasn't such a jerk. The sponsor can be there to share his or her own experiences, and to offer strength and hope. You think you feel like a bum? Let me tell you how I felt when I did my inventory. The sponsor's role is to model Christ's grace, forgiveness, and to give a sense of perspective. Again, guys, I don't judge nobody. I've done a lot of dirt, and like in my testimony, I said, I come here for probably 3 or 4 months while I was actively doing my stuff. I'd sit back there and listen to Pat preach every Sunday. And as soon as I was done, or as soon as church was over, I was up, gone, getting high. I did it for a long time, guys. I am no better than anyone, no one. So it's don't be ashamed of what you did, guys. Don't let your past define who you are, because that's not the person you are. God has much greater plans for your life, I promise you. I promise you. He is available in times of crisis and potential relapse. I have always told the newcomers that I have sponsored, call me before the first drink. You can still take it after we talk if you decide to, but please call first. Remember Ecclesiastes 4:12. 2 people can resist an attack that would defeat 1 person. It's very important to use your sponsors, guys. You have to. You have to. She serves as a sounding board by providing an object point of a view. This is especially true in Principle 6. When you are dealing with the sensitive area of making amends and offering forgiveness, you need a good sounding board. And that's a fact, guys. We have to be there. We have to listen, and just throw out suggestions, help people, as softly as we can. He is there to encourage you to work the principles at your own speed. Guys, that's very important. We can't push that, If you're working a principle and you slip, and let's say you make a mistake, you relapse or whatever, it's all right, guys. Get up, dust yourself off, get back at it. Back up a step or two if you have to. There's no shame in it. There's none. Most important, she attempts to model the lifestyle that results from working the 8 principles. If difficult to inspire others to accomplish what you have, let me start over. It's difficult to inspire others to accomplish what you haven't been willing to try yourself. A good sponsor lives the principles. Again, guys, our walk has to match our talk. A sponsor can resign or be fired. Sponsorship is not a lifetime position. And again, guys, and if by chance you do get a sponsor or an accountability partner, and you figure out that, she's not, or he's not, well, whoever it is not doing what they say they're doing, guys, is you're better off to find somebody else to go to, because it's not going to work out. So, Nikki, you're fired. How do I find a sponsor and or an accountability partner? First and foremost, the person must be of the same sex as you. And it has to be, guys. You know, how would it look if you're married, you know, and some lady wants to meet me for coffee, you know, 2 or 3 nights a week? You know, it's just not going to work out. You know, maybe for a week or two, but eventually it's going to cause some problems. It's not going to work. Can you relate to this person's story? Again, guys, we have kind of have the same background, the same lifestyle, old lifestyle that the other one lived. You know, let's say I'm dealing with somebody that hurt me. You're an addict. How am I going to help you? You know, if I've never lived it, how am I supposed to help you through that whole thing? You know, I can't do it. Come to the barbecue, come to the barbecue and the Solid Rock Calf. Invest some time in fellowship and get to know others in your group. That's the main reason we have these fellowship events. And again, guys, we've been to 2 of them in what, 2 or 3 months here. You know, that's good to get around and meet different people, and you know, we have to fellowship, guys. If you ask someone to be your sponsor and or an accountability partner, and that person says no, don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. You know, guys, that's, again, even if if I'm your sponsor, I'm going to sit down, we're going to talk, I'm going to ask some questions. And again, I'm not going to sponsor you if we can't relate. You know, I can't help you through something that I've never gone through. You know, I'll sit and listen to you all night. That's fine, but I really can't even give you no pointers on how to get through it if I've never done it. So, most important, this is the most important one, guys. Ask God to lead you to the sponsor and or accountability partner of his choosings. That's very important, guys. We really need to let God lead us. And he will. It may not be today or tomorrow or next week, but he will get you there, guys. You know, it takes some time. This stuff takes time. It's not done overnight, you know. It's really not. In my testimony, you know, I tell everybody when I went to prison and was coming out, I was coming back to Rochester to get a modification. And the whole ride, man, I can't wait to get out, you know, can't wait to get out. But God had different plans. He knew I wasn't ready. If I'd have got out then, I'd have went right back to doing what I was doing because I wasn't ready. When I got denied that modification and was sent back to prison, I knew, I was like, okay, God, you got my attention. The 3 months I had to go back and sit there it took longer than the 1.5 years that I was already there. You know, it took a long time. So I read the Bible every day. I was in every chapel, every church I could go to. I was down there, you know. So God knows. He's got the timing. You know, we see the here and now. God sees years from now. He knows. He knows how to get your attention. He knows how long to sit you down and make you wait. Trust me. Trust me. He knows. So, again, guys, if you're watching on Facebook, I just want to thank you for being with us tonight. And if you're facing something, guys, don't give up. Don't give up. Keep pushing. Keep thriving. You know, pray. Just ask God for directions, guys. He's going to help you. And if you're going through something, you need somebody to talk to, that's why I do what I do every week, guys. Give me a call. It doesn't matter what time. I'll answer the phone, I promise. So, thanks again. Don't forget to hit the share button.